coming up. On this week's episode, Bob returns to Ontario's Sunset Country with Gord Pizer in search of pike through the ice. Also joining Bob are his brother Wayne and friend Steve Chandler. Gord shares his vast fishing knowledge and demonstrates his numerous years of experience on the ice, finding fish and catching them. It's a waiting game, but the boys come out big winners.
Wow. Thump, thump, thump.
Here we go, boys.
Wowee. That thing is a monster.
They fight hard, don't they?
Look at that magnificent fish.
Look at the size of that fish.
There he is again.
The color is incredible. Yeah, that's a nice one.
The Real Fishing Show with Bob Izumi.
All right. That is a big rainbow trout, Chris. Nice double header. Whoa.
Nice jump.
Yeah. All right. Man, that is so cool. Another one, there we go. The biggest pike I've ever caught. Look at that chunk.
Real Fishing is sponsored by Mercury, #1 on the water, and Tim Hortons.
On the Real Fishing Show, we make catching fish like this a possibility. Well, it's my perfect type of fishing. Gord's doing all the work and I'm just kneeling here watching. You know, when you're pike fishing through the ice in the winter with tip-ups, it really becomes a waiting game. But Gord, you know, just getting everything set up takes the longest time, doesn't it?
You know, it really does, Bob. And you're right, it's a bit of a waiting game, but it's also a location game, right?
You're right on, you know, and we got the location. We'll talk about that later, but we've got my brother Wayne here today on the trip, our friend Steve Chandler from Barrie, and we're here in northwestern Ontario. It's an awesome place to fish. I love fishing up here, and it's a brisk morning, a high of -10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a warm front end today.
And we've had a cool, cold winter right across the continent this year. And normally, Bob, we're here this week on quads. And here we've got the snow bear and we've got snow, but the pike will still be doing their thing, and we know that they're moving in. They're the first to spawn, and they literally spawn almost under the ice. So we know where they're headed is right down here below us. We've got a big river flowing in. This is all cabbage in front of us here, and we're on that main lead-in primary point. And people, we talk about it all the time, that primary point. There's deep water, there's where they're going to spawn, and there's where they're going to hit first coming in.
All right, so we got it all, and we got the bait. We were in Winnipeg yesterday on our way here from Lake Winnipeg, picked up some big chub mackerel here at the grocery store. They must have thought we were really hungry, Gord, because we got a lot of packages of these, and we got some herring as well, right?
And these are ideal, and this is the other thing, Bob, is this is human quality food. I mean, this is sold for human consumption. You don't want to use old freezer burn stuff that's been in your freezer that's thawed, rethawed, frozen. Really fresh is really primary key.
Well, what Gord's saying is the pike up here in northwestern Ontario are very picky. We want sushi grade bait.
And that's what we're going to give them.
Let's get set up, Gord. Ontario's Sunset Country in northwestern Ontario offers endless opportunities for ice fishing. Real Fishing Radio co-host Gord Pizer has paid his dues over the years fishing these waters. We headed out for a few hours of fishing when we arrived the first day to go after some walleye and whitefish. Within minutes of setting up, we started to catch smallmouth bass. It was obviously a wintering spot as they hit jigs and spoons as quick as you could drop down. Having the comfort of the snow bear was certainly nice as the conditions were cold and windy. Friend Steve Chandler landed a nice walleye while fishing inside the snow bear. Gord was busy outside catching some whitefish that we wanted for a shore lunch.
I can get them
Oh,
back.
Gord, nice fish. They have grown up, haven't they? Look at that. They're big now, eh?
We're fishing for them differently. Everybody thinks whitefish are on the bottom. And
Right.
they think whitefish are on the bottom all the time.
Yep.
We're in 74 feet.
Right.
That one hit at 16, this one hit at 32.
All right, show the camera, turn that sideways. So they're suspended through the water column, and what you're doing is you're working a lure right up to them.
You know, if they're not on the bottom after 5 minutes, you work your way up. And I keep trying 10 foot up and then another 10 foot up. And then you have to believe, I honestly have caught enough suspended, I believe they're going to be at 30 or 20, even though we're in 70. And if you're jigging there, they show up.
They just come in. Now, your hand's getting cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that fine eating? We'll go pike fishing tomorrow. We'll have these for shore lunch.
Sounds good. I brought the Coleman with me. Sounds good to me.
Excellent.
Gord fishes everything, as you can see. I think I'm going to go over the hole there and see if I can round one up.
You'll get one.
Okay, man.
When we return, Bob and Gord discuss ice fishing equipment and bait rigging for big northerns. Stay tuned. Closed captioning is brought to you by boaterexam.com. Let's take a look down under with this week's Fisheye View, sponsored by Toro. Count on it. If you are one of our regular viewers, you may be aware that we do all of our underwater filming with a camera on the end of a pole. Up top, a portable television allows us to monitor all the activity down below. Because we manufacture our own housings complete with camouflage, we're able to blend in and get just this close to the action. Or, as we like to put it, we're not pretty, but we get the job done. It's always been our objective to film and study fish that are acting and reacting as naturally as possible, in spite of our intrusion. After the fact, and just like recorded golf swings, we're able to review and analyze minute details of successes and failures. With more than 1,200 hours of footage, we're still learning new things. After 20 years of this activity, you might say we've observed a few unusual things along the way. Not the least of which are instances of peculiar behavior. While some fish obviously lack restraint when hamming it up for the camera, others defy reason. For more than an hour, this female steelhead wouldn't leave us alone. She actually ruined our attempts at strike shots. Her life threatened by a parasitic lamprey. Was it simple curiosity, or was it something else? Your guess is as good as ours.
This is the big secret. How we rig it is really critical. Everybody thinks that you want your bait sitting horizontally.
Right?
You don't. You want your bait like this.
Just off bottom or on bottom?
When you're 10 feet or deeper, you want it about 3 feet off the bottom. When we come into these shallow ones, they're going to be 7, 8, 9 feet. Hang it right in the center of the water column. But here's the key. You take this first hook and put it right close to the tail. And then you take this second hook right about the dorsal, so right about there, and then you hang it like this. Now you're a northern, and you come in like this. They always, always, always hit it head first. So now they take that head first, and the bait pivots, goes right into its head, and then it closes, and look where the hooks are.
The hooks are like this, so as soon as you start to pull the hooks, those thin wire hooks go right in.
Right into the lips. And they're called quick strike rigs. You hear so many people say, oh, I like to let them run for 2 minutes. They're called quick strikes for a reason. You see the flag fly? Get it.
Okay, might be a little bit of running today. We got a whole bunch of HT tip-ups that we're gonna set up here, and
we've got the underwater sets here. We've got the big wooden ones, big HT woodens. I always put these short ones close to us, so these are easy to see. And the big ones, we'll put those out at the furthest, and there'll be no missing the flag going flying.
Know what I like about you, Gord?
What's that?
You're always thinking. Gord is so dialed in when it comes to multi-species fishing. He had the location as well as the gear ready. Fishing with experts like him certainly make my job a lot easier. We started drilling holes staggered from shallow to deep so we could get the line set. Then it was a waiting game.
Big northern action that requires some strategic angling through the ice when we return. Stay tuned. This tip of the week is sponsored by Coleman, the outdoor company.
Here with Chris Pitzelis at iCast in the Johnson Fishing booth. And Chris, your design of lures, you're amazing. You catch all kinds of fish with these baits, don't you?
Yeah, one of the things we try to talk about with Johnson for our metal baits, our blade baits, our spoons, our some of our wire baits and our inline spinners is ice to inshore. We want to basically make products from ice fishing, jigging through the ice, all the way to the inshore market. You've got a 1/2 ounce thin fisher in your hand that was created for certainly both fresh and salt water, but also we want to make sure it handled salt water. So there's a great product that can be used ice to inshore.
Well, you know, the funny thing is blade type baits have been around for a long time. When I used this for the first time, I was amazed. It does not foul up, plus it vibrates at a very sort of easy lift, you know, so you get a lot of action out of this bait. Now, to tell you how good this bait is, folks, we have caught walleyes, double-digit walleyes on it, and lots of them vertical jigging, smallmouth bass, jumbo perch. These baits really do catch a lot of species of fish, and you know, they're sort of like the unsung hero in fishing lures, aren't they?
Yep, they are. They are. What we've got here is we've introduced the thin fisher in 3 sizes, a 3/16 quarter and a 1/2 ounce. I know you're interested in a larger size, but you mentioned something very important. It works very well at slow speeds, and that's because it's weighted properly. It doesn't foul. So the angler's going to have the product in the water much longer, much more in the strike zone, which means that you have a better chance of catching more fish.
You know, one of the cool things about it too is that you put on really good quality black nickel hooks, and they really do catch fish when they get near it. And you know, this past year I have caught so many species of fish and so many big, like smallmouth bass and giant walleyes on this bait. If you ever discontinue this bait, I'm taking legal action against Johnson Outdoors.
Okay, that's
it's
a deal.
Staple in my tackle box. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Gord, HT make a number of different types of tip-ups. These ones here are fairly large, aren't they?
They are. These are the Arctic bays, and they call them the ultimate, and I really do think they are the ultimate. They're heavy-duty, Bob. They're strong, but what I like is they're high. So you see the flag, if we're in on shore around the fire, you'll see the flag flying easily.
Yeah, we're probably about 80 yards away from there. So we want to get right down to the bottom, do we?
Yes. And then, as I say, 10 feet or shallower, you want it hovering about halfway, about the 4 foot.
How deep do you figure we are here?
I think this one is about 12 feet. There, so there's bottom right there.
Okay, so why don't you reel some up?
Yes.
Right
Okay,
there.
that should be perfect. Now, let me just see how much. Yeah, we're going to be about 5 feet down.
So now that we got our desired depth, Gord, we'll just set this up, the flag, just hook it right in there.
Yep. Bonus. Now, I'll just make sure.
Okay, watch this. So right on the tip.
There you go. Hair trigger.
Hair trigger, there we go. Whoa, Gord.
Got him, Bob? Attaboy.
This thing, it feels like there's some weight to this one here, Gord.
Well, it's a start.
It is a start. Steve, Wayne, come on over. We got one there. Just gonna break that. So just slow and steady, eh, Gord?
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
And throw the line, you know, this is a thick line so it doesn't tangle. And you just keep it. If it wants to make a big run, away she goes. And your hand is the drag.
Okay.
What do you think? How's it feel, Bob?
It feels decent, you know. I mean, it's definitely not a couple pounds. It's got some size to it, I think. You know, you never can tell, eh, Gord, with
you can't.
All this snow on the ice.
And the hard part now, Bob, is when they come under this way, you're going to have to try and get its head to turn.
Yeah,
Ooh.
like right
now.
now.
Yeah, don't give it slack, whatever you do.
Yeah, so now it's hooked on the edge of that ice, and that ice is, what, a good 3 feet, 3.5 feet thick?
It is. As long as we haven't snagged that top hook.
That's what I think. Feel that.
I know, I can see you.
Yeah.
I think what's happened, it's on the back hook, and that front hook
And
now
it's just pinned there, sitting there, because it's probably tired from all that
exactly,
fighting. Eh?
Exactly. So it's just now on the ice doing this underneath, but our top hook's caught on the edge. So much ice.
All this waiting for a big pike, and this happens. But that's fishing, isn't it, Gord?
Yeah, that is.
And I guess you don't want to see a grown man cry. Not on camera anyway. I'm talking about Gord. Okay, we've got a telescopic pole here with a little GoPro camera on. So what we'll do is, Gord, I think I'll push it that way so I get the line. How's that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there it goes.
There he goes. There, that's what we wanted.
Oh, yeah.
There she goes.
I wonder if we can get a shot of that fish, Gord, while it's down there. I don't know. You want to run the camera?
What do I do?
It's already turned on. Just point it down. It's a big fish.
It is a good fish, Bob. I think it's more important to get it in.
Okay, well, pull the camera up then. Here, just put it over there. Okay. Oh, I think it's a giant.
I do too.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Look at the way the water's just bouncing here. This is the fish we want.
The only thing is, it's so heavy.
You can't pull it. It's stretching out on both
Gord,
sides.
I can see down there. It is huge.
I know it is.
Take a look down that hole.
Oh my Lord. Oh, here, let me. You keep him like that, Bob.
You want to just keep pressure on him, Gord?
Yep, yep.
The doctor
Oh,
of
gosh.
real fishing. Is it big, Gord?
Yes. Oh shoot, it's huge. No, I don't.
Oh, you know what we got, Gord?
What's that?
We got a long Berkeley gripper.
Yeah, but
in the snow bear. If we could get its
even
side
half.
of its lip and then turn them.
But you've got. Is it 4 feet long? Got that much ice?
I think it is actually long enough to get that.
When we return, it's Bob's biggest pike and a whitefish shore lunch on the Coleman Propane Grill.
Oh, the things I do for you.
Well, Gord, you know what I like about you? You're the best. This thing is fat.
Oh my Lord, Bob, hold on. Oh, hold on. Yep, just give her a bit of slack, just a slight bit.
Okay. How's the water, Gord?
Holy, and now she's out a bit.
Okay, I've got to give her.
Okay, now hold on.
Look at the size of that fish. Wow, Gord.
Robert,
That thing is a monster.
what
wow.
did I tell you?
Gord, look at that thing. How big is that?
Over 30.
How big is it? Is it really?
That's a 30. Where's the pliers?
Look at the size of that fish.
Here they are. Let's get rid of that hook so you don't get it in you.
Okay, Gord.
Now the other one. Let's get. I'm going to wipe my wet hand on your back.
Gord, that is
Biggest.
the biggest pike I've ever caught in my life.
Look at the belly. Isn't that amazing, Robert?
What a pike! This thing is a monster. You wouldn't believe how heavy it is, too. And Gord, I mean, you told me, patience, we'll get one. And we waited for a few hours. Oh, you grabbed the tail so we don't flop her around too much.
Unbelievable.
It's going back in, guys.
Unbelievable. Isn't that amazing?
Look at that fish. Oh, it's so big. Yeah.
Look at, there's her tail.
Gone? Gord, my hands are starting to freeze. Oh, wait. Look, you know, come on now. My pinky's cold. What have we got here, boys?
As we're packing up for the day, our buddy Steve Chandler got his first pike through the ice.
All right.
Lots of fun on the ice and memories that'll last forever.
Well, Gord, I love fishing with you, but I also love cooking and eating too. And you know, it's kind of the best of both worlds. Up here in northwestern Ontario, fishing with my buddy Gord Pizer, who we've known each other since what, about 1980?
1980, yeah.
That's a long time now. Now, what do we got going on here? We got some fish. These are whitefish that we caught last night through the ice.
Yeah. You know, it is, Bob, and everybody thinks the highlight of a summer fishing trip is shore lunch. Why don't they think about doing the very same thing in the winter?
Well, let's put some in here. We've got a little sort of wall of an igloo here we built as a wind block because it's probably about 25-mile-an-hour winds today. And this is part of the Coleman Signature Series line. And this little propane stove here is awesome. It comes with a stove top or a griddle if you want to do like sausages or steaks, or you can cook on a flat top non-stick surface as well. So you've really got the best of three worlds, Gord. This is great. Comes in a carrying case. We actually had it in the snow bear, you know,
yeah,
for this reason, to eat some fish. Gord, that looks pretty good.
And it will taste even better.
All right. And there you go, folks. Fresh whitefish caught last night, served the next day, right up here in Ontario's Sunset Country. I think we both get an assist on this, eh, Gord? What do you think?
I think we better test it first.
Okay, well, if they're any good, you better not tell me.
They're hot.
I bet they are. That's why I'm letting them cool off. Hey, folks, when you come out and do, you know, these winter activities, don't be afraid to cook up a few fish too, you know? I mean, it's not just a summer, spring and fall deal, is it?
Sure isn't.
I wonder if there's anybody behind the camera that wants any of these. Yeah, all right. This is a big fish. That is a fish of a lifetime. Well, that is just amazing.
Look at that thing.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, man. That was too cool. Oh, man, what a fish. Look at that. Yes.